What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Welcome to Alex Sports Talks and Bets. And I just got to toot my horn a little bit. And I'm going to get more consistent with this channel because I got to start putting out more parlay information so I can win you guys money like I was last year. And it's just a lot to talk about in sports in general. So we're going to start blitzing hard from Thanksgiving to Christmas. That's my word to y'all. It's going to be a lot more content coming out. But I got to talk about my boy Shedeur really quick because Shedeur balled out. Now, if you just look at his stat line, I believe it was 209 yards, like 2 touchdowns. It's not going to just like blow your mind, right? They won the game, but it's not going to blow your mind. But the reason I say he balled out is because Shedeur is doing, you guys have to learn how to look past a stat box. Okay, this is why you guys think Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. And I don't want to make too much about Justin Herbert because I just did a video on how overrated he is, and everybody got mad, everybody got upset. You're just saying he's overrated because he's white, and you're just saying Jordan Love is better because he's black. I hate when people take your argument and then try to reuse it, and they add no context to it or anything. They just reuse your argument. At the end of the day, and I told you on this video, Justin Herbert got 3 coaches fired. There's people in my comments making excuses for why all 3 of those coaches deserve to be fired. Well, really, he got 2 coaches fired so far, but he's going to get the Harbaugh fired too because he's not good, right? You know, then they were like, oh, he doesn't have weapons. Oh, he doesn't have good coaching. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. He gets all these excuses, right? And he's just not good. And I will say this, in Justin Herbert's defense, Oregon quarterbacks are never good in the league. Bo Nix has a chance, but that's just because Bo Nix is in a system where they understand he's not that great. And I like Bo Nix, but they understand what Bo Nix is. He's not that great, but you can win with him. If you have a great defense and some good skill players, you can win with Bo Nix. He can manage the game. He can win you a chance. He can do like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was never that great, right? But if you put an elite defense around him with a couple weapons, he can win you a game. That's Bo Nix, but because that's understood about Bo Nix, he's going to have a better career than Justin Herbert. Because what's going on with Justin Herbert is they're trying to treat Justin Herbert like he's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and he's nowhere near any of these guys. He's not even close. He's not even better than Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love. Like, again, look at the Oregon quarterback. What Oregon quarterback was good? Was Marcus Mariota good in the league? No. I think there was Dennis Dixon. I think he was the quarterback who did really good for Oregon in college. Came to the league, did nothing. The Ducks are chokes. There's a reason they always get overhyped every year. The Oregon's always top 10, top 5 every year. They never win a championship. They never even get close to winning a championship. And they do the same thing in the league. They get on a team. They do nothing. They flame out. They bust. And like I said, Bo Nix has a chance to survive because people realize Bo Nix is not a franchise quarterback, but if you put weapons around him, he can ball out. Now, y'all might be thinking to yourselves, what does all this have to do with Shedeur Sanders? Simple. Because Shedeur, to me, is very similar to a Bo Nix. Shedeur, to me, is very similar to a Russell Wilson. Right? And I can give more examples, but what I'm trying to say is Shedeur is not going to be a dude where you can build the team completely around him and he's going to go out and throw for 250 to 350 yards, 4 to 3 touchdowns, and basically be the reason that you're winning, right? But he's good enough that he's not going to be the reason that you're losing either. Right? And if you put a solid team around him, he's going to win you games. The Browns have a good defense and a solid team. Shedeur should have been the starter. Shedeur can just do things that the Mexican plumber cannot do. Shedeur's passes, again, if you just look at his stat line of 209 yards, right, and 2 touchdowns, no interception, it doesn't seem that impressive. But when you break it down, if you watch the game, this is why I said you guys have to stop box score watching like you do with Justin Herbert. Right? People's in my comments, Justin Herbert, he's making you look bad, blah, 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 blah. Well, Justin Herbert in his last game lost, went like 7 of 16 for 81 yards and an interception. Now you're all quiet. Right? Stop box score watching. Watch the games. Why are you saying that, Alex? Because of this. Shedeur Sanders hit passes of 32 yards, 62 yards, 59 yards, 17 yards. He's hitting big explosive plays. If you've ever played the game of football, you know big explosive plays are backbreakers. It kills the morality of the defense when you hit them for 62 yards, 59 yards, 39 yards, 32 yards, 17 yards. When you hit these big plays, it kills their morality. That's backbreaking. It's momentum shifting. Dylan Gabriel don't got no arm. He can't make those types of plays. Shedeur has an arm. He can make any throw. No, there's no throw that he can't make. On the runner standing still. And he prefers to stand still, which y'all supposed to like. Right? So he changed the entire dynamic of that Browns offense, because now you can't just come up and play the run with Quinshawn Judkins and them. You have to respect the entire field, because Shedeur can put the ball anywhere, which also opens up holes for Judkins and them. Then you got Myles Garrett and my boy Denzel Ward and them on that D. You give them a quarterback who's just capable and can manage a game, they can win some games. Talking about some Dylan Gabriel. Come on now. Let's call a spade. We all know Shedeur Sanders wasn't no damn 5th round pick. Alright, again, do I think he was a franchise quarterback? No, but I thought he was good enough that if you had a good team, you could manage a game and win with him. And a quarterback that's that good should still be a 1st round pick. If not a 1st round pick, at least a top 3. There's no way he should have fell to the 5th. And if you're going to sit here and look me in my face and tell me that racism had nothing to do with that, was it all racism? No. Some of it was just people not liking Deion Sanders. That didn't help him either, because that was one of the cockiest people who ever played the game. He's also one of the best, but it still remains that he was one of the cockiest, right? So that didn't help him either. But if Shedeur, there's no way you're going to tell me that if Shedeur was white, that all of a sudden he would have fell to the 5th round. It would have never happened. Baker Mayfield talked way more stuff than Shedeur did. And Baker Mayfield is trash. He's always, I'm not going to say he's always been trash, because he was nice in college. But Baker is not that good. And Baker's another one, just like Justin Herbert, who you guys are always trying to anoint and make seem better than he is. Similar to Justin Herbert, what did I say? Justin Herbert's last game, he was like 7-16, 81 yards and interception, and lost to one of the worst teams in the league. And Baker Mayfield's last game, he had like 41 yards passing and he got blown out. Now, in his defense, it was to the Rams, but you're supposed to be a good quarterback. These are quarterbacks. Y'all tell me Justin Herbert is better than Jalen Hurts. Y'all tell me Baker Mayfield is better than Jordan Love. When I look at the wins and the losses and the stat sheet every week, none of the numbers back this up. Y'all tell me that those two are better than C.J. Stroud. Where? Like, where? And this is what I'm talking about. So y'all will go and move mountains to make it seem like Justin Herbert's not that trash. Y'all will move mountains to make it seem like Baker Mayfield is not that trash. But y'all won't do that on the other end. Jordan Love throw one pick, he's garbage. Jalen Hurts, a Super Bowl MVP, by the way, if he only throws for 150 yards and the team wins, he's garbage. It's because he has a great team. But y'all won't ever call these two garbage when they're not good. So, again, if you're going to, look, if you watch all the videos on my channel, like I said, I don't bring up race that much. But to sit here and deny it doesn't play a part when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL is just insane. Y'all set the bar higher for black quarterbacks. Shedeur is just another example. This is just an extension of the last video, basically. Because everybody who knows anything about football knew Shedeur Sanders was clearly better than Dylan Gabriel, and he was clearly better than 80% of the quarterbacks who were taken before him. Everybody knew this, but y'all don't like that man. Just like anyone who's being honest can look at Baker Mayfield and tell he's mid. Anyone who's being honest can look at Justin Herbert and tell he is not an elite quarterback, but y'all don't want to admit that. Y'all just be moving mountains, changing the bar, moving the needles. Changing the plot points. That's all y'all be doing. Look, man, Shedeur is going to start the rest of this season. He should have been starting. Look, you're the Cleveland Browns. This is the thing that kills me. You're the Cleveland Browns. You have nothing else going for you but Shedeur. Why not just play the kid? There's nothing else to be excited about. There's nothing else going on. You guys have sucked essentially forever. You guys are so sorry that your team left Cleveland, went to Baltimore, won 2 championships. That's how sorry you are. It's like you're cursed. So you might as well play the kid and just let him go. Just let him go and be happy that you got him in the 5th round. Yeah, you raced the draft pick on Dylan Gabriel, but you still got him in the 5th round. So you can build around him, right? You didn't have to spend a 1st round pick on him. Be happy about that. But yeah, people out here, trying to flex in front and, Shedeur's not that good. Just stop it. There's no quarterback on that roster better than him. And yes, that includes Joe Flacco. Because if Shedeur was out there with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, it would be scary. And he even said he had a whole offseason that would be dangerous. But if he was out there with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, I wouldn't be able to do nothing with that boy at all. So I'm saying all this to say, let's cut the BS, all right? Let's stop the nonsense. Let's just get into the part where we just acknowledge that y'all like to make higher hills for black quarterbacks to climb. You got to do for black quarterbacks. It's just the truth. Stop denying the truth. Look, I know when you get on the internet, it's surrounded with the woke people and all that crap. But the reality of the situation is, and the truth of the matter is, y'all make a way higher hill for black quarterbacks to climb, they're going to make for white quarterbacks to climb. This is just a reality. And Shedeur be suffering from that. But either way, I am Alex. Shedeur had a great game. Everything he did in that game, like I said, Dylan Gabriel just cannot do the stuff that Shedeur Sanders can do. This should have never been a quarterback competition. He was clearly the best quarterback. Anyone who knew anything about football knew that. You will never see Dylan Gabriel have a game in the NFL the way Shedeur just did. It's not going to happen. He can't do it. With that being said, y'all, I am Alex and I am out. Peace.